Yo, it's your boy Marcus from Morrison back with another video, and today we will be ranking every vehicle in COD Mobile history based on many factors. But these will only be BR vehicles, no streaks or anything like that, or multiplayer sided things, just BR vehicles. There are 13 of them. And yeah, that's pretty much all I got for criteria outside of usefulness, and like the overall viability of the vehicle is what is really coming into question. Like, if you get to pick one vehicle, which one are you going to take? And well-roundedness is a big factor of that. So coming in at number 13, we have the boat. You can't even drive this on land. So it makes it very difficult to put this up higher if you can't even use it on 90% of the map on all BR maps. That being said, the boat is very slow in terms of acceleration. So if you need to hop into the boat to escape a team of people chasing you, good luck, because the boat is huge and it moves slow at the beginning, so people can easily get a lot of shots onto you, and it's not very good overall, and that's why it's at number 13. Number 12, the cargo truck. Another big slow vehicle. The thing about the cargo truck that really irritates me, because back in Verdansk, this thing had a ton of health back in the Modern Warfare 2019 days, which this vehicle has pretty much been in the game since the start. And here it does not have like a ton of health. You know what I mean? It's just got a good bit of health, but it's not like a crazy amount of health to where it would make it more worth it to use it. And you could still, it's slower than a lot of other vehicles and easier to hit. So that same cons as the boat essentially, but you can drive it on land. Number 11, the Orv. This is a 4-person vehicle right here, and it's just simply like the most basic vehicle in the game, right? It's been in the game since launch. It kind of does what a vehicle is supposed to do. It gets you to A to B. It's like the simplest vehicle possible. It does look kind of cool. You know, there's a lot of skins for this vehicle, so there's a lot of cool skins you can put on it, but that's not something we're really taking into account when we're ranking them from a worst to best style. Number 10, the Jackal. Now, I love the Jackal. Don't get me wrong. I'm not putting my personal bias in here, man. I love the Jackal, but I'm kind of having to think a little bit more objectively. This thing is hard to use, right? A lot of people don't play COD Mobile a lot, and they can't really get used to flying the Jackal like that. But this thing is hard to fly. And by hard to fly, I mean like this is probably the most difficult vehicle to actually maneuver simply because of how these settings are. But once you get used to it, it is very good and very fun. But that takes a long time. Number 9, the rally car. Pretty self-explanatory, man. This is a little rally car. It's a little faster than some of the other vehicles in the game, it seems. But it's got some style to it. And that's where it comes in. People see the rally car. They're like, oh, a little sports car I can hop into. And it has a lot of cool skins that you can put on it, like you see in this photo. But it's just, there's a lot of better vehicles, generally speaking. Number 8, the Antelope A20. Speaking of better vehicles, we got a big old truck with a machine gun on top. I'm not lying, guys. The machine gun isn't the best, but it does exist and can be very useful against other vehicles. So that is very helpful, and that bumps this up severely. The actual vehicle itself does feel to maneuver a lot better than other vehicles in the game that are like the Orv and stuff like that. So this is a very well-rounded vehicle, and just because it's at the 8th spot doesn't necessarily mean it's bad. It just means that there are a lot of other vehicles that I would consider to be a lot better than this one. Number 7, the tank. People actively avoid the tank in games, right? They want to blow it up, that way other people can't get their hands on it, but they don't really use it themselves. The tank is very good. Once you get used to it, just like the Jackal, it can be pretty insane, right? You got to get used to how the turret functions and when you're going up and down hills and whatnot. And a lot of times it's just easier to keep it still. Move it in position, keep it still, and shoot your tank shots from there, right? If people are in buildings, and you can shoot shots in windows and things like that. So it has a lot of viability in that aspect. However, it is very slow, easy to hit from range or even up close. It's just huge, so it's a tank. It's pretty easy to hit. And although it does have a heavier dose of armor, that's not necessarily enough to make it go higher up this list, simply because there are a lot of better vehicle options that you could use. Whether you had to get away, this, you're not really using the tank as a getaway vehicle. You're kind of using this to attack people. So that's why it's coming in number 7. Number 6, the ATV. This has been in the game since launch, and I have the OG Halloween skin on it. For anybody who is aware of this skin, this is probably one of the more rare skins for it. But the ATV kind of can do it all, man. You can only fit like one, maybe two people on here, if my memory serves me right. And so that's not great. It's not necessarily great for carrying people around. But if you have to get out of a situation, the ATV is like the best, most agile vehicle in the game to just hop into it. And if you're going to make twists and turns, it's easy to control. It's a four-wheeled vehicle, which helps. So on land, you're able to maneuver around pretty quickly. And I feel like people are generally going to be able to pick up driving this vehicle easier than like the Jackal or boats or other vehicles that may take a little bit more skill than this one. This one's very simple. Hop into it, drive it. It can do it all on land. And that's why it comes in at number 6. Number 5, the muscle car. I think this is like the fan favorite vehicle. I think everybody loves the muscle car, right? It's got all the dope skins are on the muscle car. It's the best looking vehicle, right? Kind of looks like a Challenger. The vehicle that comes to mind that looks like the most is like the Equus Base 770, I believe it's called. It's like a branch off company in America, I believe. It's like the Mustang, but not the Mustang. But that's what this gun really looks like it's modeled after. It's a very, not gun, I don't even know why I said gun, my bad. That's what this vehicle looks like it's modeled after. So it's definitely a very good vehicle. And it, like I said about the ATV, it can kind of do everything you need it to do on land. It's agile, it's faster, it's swift, it's sleek, it's beautiful. There's so many nice things about it that I really like. And that's why it's probably my favorite vehicle in COD Mobile. Every time I see a muscle car, like, I gotta go grab that thing. But yeah, coming in at the number 4 spot, the snowboard. Now, people might disagree with this, right? This is considered a vehicle in COD Mobile. It is in the vehicle section. I may not agree with that, but whatever, not a big deal. The snowboard, it takes a little while to get used to. You need to get acclimated with it. You got to get used to where you got to put your button on your HUD so that you can equip the snowboard properly. And when you pull it out, they nerfed the snowboard speed. So if you guys remember when the snowboard first dropped, you would pop the snowboard and just start flying like you had a jetpack on your snowboard. And just, you absolutely were so fast, you couldn't be shot. But they nerfed the speed of when you pull it out and you hop on it, you kind of need to be going like downhill to start picking up speed quicker, or you just kind of sit there for a second. So it has that con to it now, but overall in the history of COD Mobile, it has been insanely good. It just takes a higher level of skill to really get used to it and master it and make that something you pick up every time you see it off the ground, because it is a snowboard and not a normal vehicle. Number 3, the motorcycle. For all the reasons that the ATV is great, the motorcycle is equally great, but it's also sleeker and harder to hit, and it seems like it drives faster as well. And you could pop wheelies with it. You can do nice long jumps with it. So if you want to jump like off a mountaintop and see how far you can fly, this is a vehicle you want to hop into, right? You just hop in there, you go screaming up the mountaintop, you fly off, and you can just do spins in the air, backwards or forwards. And having that feature adds just another layer of fun to this thing. Obviously, it's going to be insanely hard to hit somebody doing that while you're on like 40 ms and they're on 40 ms, and it's just like hard to hit already as it is, as a super sleek, thin vehicle, as a motorcycle generally is. And having that feature added to it to where you can flip it around or do wheelies or pretty much stop on a dime with the other like reverse wheelie feature, essentially, it's just an overall great vehicle. Coming in at number 2, the helicopter. I think this one's pretty easy to understand, man. The helicopters pretty much function the same way throughout the game's life cycle and has been pretty much the best vehicle for getting places the fastest in this game. If you find a helicopter, you get all your boys in it, right? You can fit 4 people in there. You can shoot out of a helicopter. You can shoot at other helicopters, vehicles on the ground, people on the ground, anything. That being said, it's also hard to hit. I mean, if you don't have rockets, shooting at this can be kind of difficult, right? Because your damage range of any of your guns is going to drop off severely the farther away the helicopter gets to you. Also, the helicopter acceleration speeds are absurd. Like, as soon as you hop into it, there's a way to, if you pull back and start flying straight back immediately, you essentially get like, I don't know, like it's a weird propulsion effect where you fly back super fast. So very hard to hit in some circumstances, but if you do have a rocket launcher, you can definitely take down some helicopters fairly easily. And number 1 goes to the hover bike. Hasn't been in the game as long as a lot of these, like the helicopter and the Orv, but the hover bike has been in for quite a while now, and it is the only vehicle, actually, now that I think about it, that can go on both land or water. So wherever you want to go, the hover bike will take you, right? You got to cross a river, grab a hover bike. You can cross the river, you can drive on land. It's probably one of the fastest vehicles in the game. The health of the vehicle doesn't really matter because how fast the vehicle moves. It's hard to hit. And it's also sleek, and it has all those same style-esque features of a motorcycle that make it more difficult to sort of encounter and deal with. So that being said, the hover bike is the best overall vehicle in COD Mobile. I think most people could agree with that just because it's simply too versatile and can do pretty much everything you need it to do. It does only hold one, maybe two people, so that is problematic. It's not necessarily like a troop carrier like the cargo truck is, where you could stack a whole 3 teams in the back of it. But it is very versatile in doing what you need to do in a lot of 4v4, 2v2, 1v1 environments that you would normally be encountering in BR. So that has been my list of vehicles ranked in COD Mobile. Here, I'm just showing you guys all the vehicles that they have listed in here. So that's where I picked these from. Why the snowboard is considered a vehicle, I have no idea, but that's just what they did. And with that being said, I'll show you guys the class setup here at the end. You feel free to copy it for the Type 63. I don't really know. I was just throwing some stuff on it. I wanted to use something different, and that's why you guys got this. I was going to do a third-person BR gameplay, but I queued into one game. I got shotgun twice and immediately was like, I'm done with third person. This is ridiculous. So that's just how I feel about third person. I'm so sick of shotguns. That being said, though, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. What new vehicle would you like to see come to Battle Royale? Me personally, I was thinking about something that is also able to kind of do it all to compete with the hover bike. So I don't know, like a pontoon maybe. I don't know, something that you can do on both land and sea. So maybe they can figure something out for that. But a new vehicle would be nice, or like a super cool sports car, like how PUBG has Paganis and stuff like that. That would be dope as well. But with that being said, thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, turn on notifications if you want to. I'm out. Peace.